What's up, guys? How you doing? My name's TB, and we're a little bit late, but we are talking about Sword Art Online Season 3, Episode 19, The Seal of the Right Eye today. And this episode focuses mostly on Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh! When you're with Alice, you're also with Kirito, and when you're with Yu-Gi-Oh! You're also with the Pontifex, which is really, really interesting, because I knew from the moment that he was taken by the Prime Senator that he was going to get taken straight to the Pontifex and she was going to try to manipulate him and do so. I don't know if he's going to be an Integrity Knight, but like she wants him on his side. And we're going to talk about him obviously after we talk about Alice. But man, this episode is filled with so much raw emotion, so much feels, man. So much stuff happens in this episode that's been building up this whole entire season up to this one moment, and we're finally here, and it was really cool. Obviously all this is, based off the story and where we're going so far, and no action happened this time, but it didn't matter because everything that's been building up to this one moment, and we're finally here, and it hits us in two parts. One with Alice, and like I said, one with Yu-Gi-Oh! The only thing I didn't like about the part with Alice is we had a whole entire episode last week, right? Episode 18.5 dedicated to Kirito recounting literally everything that's been going on so far in the whole entire season. And for the first 5 minutes of this episode, we have him talking to her again. It's like, this is where you grew up. You have a father, you have a mother, you have a sister. This is what happened when you got into the dark territory and you were brought back by the Integrity Knights. You were made into an Integrity Knight by the Pontifex. All this stuff. It's like, we know this already. You said all this last week. Why are you saying this again? Like, you didn't just repeat all of this for a full episode, my dude. That's the only thing I don't like. They could have used that time to speed things up and like show us a little bit more, like, but they didn't. They decided to recap the recap for the first 5 episodes, for the first, well, I can't even speak, for the first 5 minutes of the episode. Time is of the essence in an animated episode because we only have like 22 minutes really to get to the meat and the potatoes. But basically Kirito explains everything to her, right? And she believes him. The thing that she latches onto most out of this whole entire story is not the thing about the Integrity Knights, not the thing about the Pontifex, but the fact that she has a sister. Because I guess she feels like she's been alone this whole entire time. She said that the Pontifex told all the Integrity Knights once they came down from heaven and they were summoned, that all their memories of heaven is like sealed away. And they're not able to remember them, until they go back. Obviously that's a lie. Kirito tells her that that's a lie. But on top of that, he explains what his plan was, right? Which is exactly what he did last week. But basically, he wants to overthrow the Pontifex, overthrow her rule, and then use the time to train up the lower people in society. Not the nobles who are manipulated by power and money and greed, but the normal, the average citizen, the commoners. Give them like weapons, armor, whatever they got that they're stashing in the Axiom Church. Give them to them, train them to fight just like the Integrity Knights do. That way that they can defend against the horde that's coming from the dark territory. It's very important that Kirito, is able to thoroughly explain what his plan is. That way Alice can believe him, because she not only cares about, herself and her family and her sister, but she cares about the world as well. So does Kirito. So I feel like it was good that Kirito got to talk to Alice and not really Yu-Gi-Oh! Since at the end of the day, Yu-Gi-Oh! Really only cares about saving Alice. But if Alice doesn't believe that she needs to be saved or helped, then nothing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Would have said to her would have, convinced her in the first place. So it was good that she ended up talking with Kirito and not Yu-Gi-Oh! That's just my perspective. That's just what I think. And then she asked the questions like, well, if you get rid of the Pontifex, if you get rid of every single Integrity Knight, how the heck are you supposed to fight the Dark Territory? That's why he explains what his plan is and what he's willing to do. At the end of the day, she says, yes, I believe you, but one thing that I want to do before I get my memories back is go back to Ruled Village, see my family, see my sister. I want to see that. And Kirito's like, yeah, I could do that for you, but just remember that even though you, Alice, Synthesis, whatever the heck her number is, Integrity Knight is going to see them, it'll be you who's seeing them, not the Alice that you were before you became an Integrity Knight. And this is something that I had a question about, because they didn't really explain this in huge detail in the past, or maybe I missed it. But apparently, when you get your memories back of who you were before you were an Integrity Knight, you lose all your memories when you were an Integrity Knight. Who said this? Who said that this was gonna happen? Like, did Cardinal explain this? I don't remember her saying anything about this. Because just because you get your memories back of who you used to be, doesn't mean you lose your current memories, right? Alice has been an Integrity Knight for 6 whole years, in the Axiom Church, doing her thing. She's just gonna lose her current persona to get her last one. Like, things are gonna be hella confusing for her if that happens. But she still wants to do it. She's convinced that this is who she really was, and like it feels like she's borrowing a body that isn't hers. She's not really whole. She's not really 100% who she knows that she is. She talks about how she knows her sister's name. She knows Selka's name. She said her name many times, even though she can't remember her voice or what she looks like or anything like that. So she makes the decision to defy the church. And once she does that, the same message that appeared on Yu-Gi-Oh's eyeball, his right eye, that's why the episode is called, Seal of the Right Eye, appears on her eye. Remember when he was defying, the taboo index, the code that was written on him when they were against Humbert and Rios with Kirito there, and he's about to slash his freaking head off? Same thing that happens to her. And she gets pissed. She's like, how dare you try to manipulate me, my memories, my family? I'm gonna do whatever it takes to save this world, and if that means I have to defy the church and the Pontifex, then I'm gonna do it. He tells Kirito to hurl her down, and we don't see it happen, but it's very implied by like the flashes of light that we see that her freaking eyeball explodes the same way that it did with Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'm hoping in episode 20, if we do indeed get that next week, that like we see what happens, because obviously the only reason why Yu-Gi-Oh got his eye back is because someone was able to heal and restore his lost body part. So maybe she knows how to do that to herself, or maybe Kirito can heal her eye up or something, but obviously she's ready to go. Good, great, that part of the episode is good. Besides the recap, I really liked it, felt like it was really important. Glad we got to see all that. This next part of the episode with Yu-Gi-Oh is a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, the Pontifex is on some weird, creepy pedo thing. Like, cause technically the Pontifex is thousands of years old, right? She ain't no spring chicken. She's using these sacred arts and stuff like that to make herself look young. She pretends like she's Yu-Gi-Oh's mom while he's having a nightmare, or what I say, a dream about who he used to be, where he grew up. He's looking for his mom, his brothers, and she like manipulates his memories and makes him think that he was never ever loved before, not by his mom, not by Alice, and not by about the girl with the red hair. I forget her name, to be honest with you. I know they say it in the episode, but the girl that was his page when he was inside the Sword Crafts Academy. She's like, yeah, no one ever loved you, and if they did, their love wasn't only meant for you. Their love was meant for other people too. And she's using weird language like, if you come into me, then I'll show you the best pleasure that you could ever have, and you will never be sad anymore, and all this sort of stuff. Like, she's using weird language every single time that he refutes what she's trying to tell him. She's like, no, but what about this? But what about this? She's like putting little seeds of doubt in his mind about every single thing that he ever knew. And the strange thing is, it doesn't seem like she's using any sacred arts during all of this. She's just talking, making him doubt who he is and what he's been through and the people who have really impacted him in his life. And before this even happens, we see Cardinal try to tell him to like, run away, bro, you don't want to be here. And he even pulls out the dagger that was meant for Alice that he was supposed to use on the Pontifex. He could have stabbed her before she woke up, but he didn't do it. He hesitated. She woke up, and then she started yapping away. And one thing that she did do that actually wasn't false was show him the memory of when Kirito was there when they were all kids. Because we remember the first episode of the 3rd season, they were all there. But for some reason, Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh remember it differently. They remember it probably because their minds had been manipulated, but Kirito wasn't there. She shows him the memory of when he was there, and that's what makes him doubt even further. And she's like, not only is Alice's love not for you, I don't think she even loved you to begin with. Like, she didn't even give a crap about you. The only thing she gives a crap about is Yujiro. And then she mentions the whole Rios and Humber thing. He's like, see, the reason why you wanted to kill them is because you were afraid that you are not going to get loved by your page, you know, the girl with the red hair. And he's like, no, that's not the reason why. The reason why is because he was going to rape him and he was going to do bad things. And then she's, the whole entire time, man, the whole entire time, all they're doing is having that conversation. And she's twisting everything around to make it sound like he needs something that he didn't really need. And towards the end of the episode, she like takes off her clothes and she's like, the weird thing about the way he's manipulating him is like she's offering him like love, right? But it's not like intimate love, like, let's cuddle or anything like that. It's like this weird like sexual thing where it's like, you want to have sex with me? Well, that's the type of love that you want. It's like, bro, that's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird considering who she is and like what she's capable of. Why is she going through all this just for him? If she could like recite some words and then boom, got him. By the end of the episode, you see, his page tries to help him. Alice tries to help him. Even Kirito for a second tries to help him, but they all get shut off. Like they all get cut off. They're not able to like talk to him. They're not able to get through to him. And she has him recite this really odd thing, this system call, to take away this core that I'm guessing is protecting something inside of him that will make him resistant to her and her powers. And by the end of the episode, man, he's gone. He's gone. We have absolutely no idea what's going to happen to him in the future, but I have a feeling that he's going to be a really strong enemy, and it's going to be really, really hard to get him back. If not, then I feel like this whole episode was for nothing. She put a lot of effort and energy into, taking him. So I don't want it to be resolved in like one episode, you know what I mean? I want him to be like the antagonist now, because obviously these Integrity Knights were a joke. They've been a joke every single time they showed up on the scene, especially the Crimson Knight. Bruh. His fight didn't even last the whole entire episode. It lasted like only a couple minutes. And Fanatio was a better fight, but still, it seems like the only people who put up a fight was Alice. She was a beast, and also Barracuda. He was a beast too. He wasn't even trying to fight at full strength. The Prime Predator was right about that. If he got serious from the beginning with his sword that can manipulate time, bro, Yu-Gi-Oh would have been done over. But that was this episode. Really good, really emotionally packed. Had a lot of implications for the future. I'm glad Alice is on their side now. She lost an eyeball, but hey, she's doing what she needs to do. Yu-Gi-Oh got trapped by the Pontifex. I wonder if she's going to try to take away his dagger, or if she's going to let him keep it. It's not like he's going to do anything anyway, He's already under her spell, her weird sexual pedophile spell. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this review. And I will definitely see you for episode 20. Oh my gosh, man. For real. Let me know what you guys think about the Pontifex. This is the first time we're seeing her in the present, because everything we've seen about her has been in the past, especially what happened with Cardinal. Oof. See you.